Danielle Pletka, against the motion.
Flynt suggested in his closing remarks that if the United States harps on the treaty obligations of our Arab dictator friends, then perhaps there will be a greater adherence to human rights. I recall the Iranian signature of the International Atomic Energy Agency's Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which was not a very effective treaty that was signed. North Korea, same. All the counterterrorism treaties, the genocide treaties, the chemical weapons conventions. Pieces of paper make bureaucrats in Washington feel good. They enable them to come home with victories that they can trumpet on the front page of the Washington Post and the New York Times. But it doesn't do a great deal for the people who live in these countries, the 300 million people of the Middle East and North Africa who don't live in freedom. As I came here today, I looked out the window and you can see signs hanging from institutions, synagogues in particular, that say, "Save Darfur." Why is it that we have a special regard for Darfur, but not for the 300 million of the Middle East and North Africa who have lived so long with torture, without freedom, and yes, with genocide as well? Our past failings should not dictate our future failings, and our hearts and our minds should work together for the right thing in the national interest. Yes, it's true Hitler was elected by democracy, but that does not discredit democracy. To the contrary, those who were willing to accept that decision and do nothing in the face of the reality that Hitler was an evil, ruthless tyrant were the Chamberlains, and those who spoke out to depose and to act and to spread democracy and change in national interest were with Churchill. And I think history will judge those who stood on the other side very harshly in this regard as well.
Danielle Pletka. And in conclusion, Dimitri Symes for the motion.
Like Ms. Sharansky, I also lived in the Soviet Union. And for most of us, the United States was a shining castle. And the United States stood not only for prosperity and freedom for the United States, but also for freedom for the rest of us. The big difference, however, between standing for this kind of freedom and what we have witnessed during the last several years, that every American president before this one was taking a position that we would protect and defend freedom of Americans and of their allies, and whenever possible, would protect freedom of other nations. The country was not taking upon themselves telling others on a global scale how they are supposed to live. And when you go to the world and offer indispensable guidance, particularly when you are not particularly popular, when you are not particularly liked, you know what? It creates a backlash. The debate tonight is not about freedom. The debate tonight is whether we want to have foreign policy which makes us feel good, or whether we want to have foreign policy judged by results. And I am convinced that dissidents in Iran, Democrats in Iraq, they want results, not rhetoric. That is why I am in favor of this resolution.
Thank you, Dimitri Symes. And so we've heard the concluding remarks. It's now time to vote. I want to report to you how you voted before you heard from our debaters. On the motion that spreading democracy in the Middle East is a bad idea, 46% of you in the audience using your keypads voted for the motion, 36% voted against the motion, and 18% were undecided. So those were the pre-debate results. Once again, please pick up the keypad that's attached to the left armrest of your seat, and after my prompt, press 1 if you are for the motion again being that spreading democracy in the Middle East is a bad idea, 2 if you are against the motion, and 3 if you are undecided. Please cast your vote now. Before I announce the results of the audience vote, I want to take care of a few things. First, this is the first debate of the second Intelligence Squared US series. This program has been a huge success because of the enthusiasm of audience members like yourself, and for everyone at Intelligence Squared, we'd like to thank you for your continuing support. The next Intelligence Squared U.S. debate will be on Tuesday, October 9th, here at Asia Society and Museum. The motion to be debated is, "Let's Stop Welcoming Undocumented Immigrants." It will be moderated by journalist John Hockenberry, and the panelists for that debate are, for the motion, Vernon Briggs of Cornell University, Mark Krikorian of the Center for Immigration Studies, and Heather McDonald of the Manhattan Institute. Against the motion, the Cato Institute's Daniel T. Griswold, Enrique Morones of Border Angels, and Karen K. Narasaki of the Asian American Justice Center. Now, the debate results. After our debaters did their best to sway you, you voted 55% for the motion, 40% against the motion, and 5% undecided, which means that those in favor of the motion carry the day. Congratulations to the teams there.